Hello everyone and welcome to the final episode of my series of vlogs backpacking Southeast Asia. You will notice that I'm not in Southeast Asia. I'm in the West Midlands of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the land of flags and vapes and factory farming. Truly is a wonderful, wonderful place. We came back on the 22nd of January. It's now the 2nd of March. So we've been back for about a month and a half. Ooh, little fly here. Today, I'm going to be closing off the series really by just talking about the last few weeks, and then followed by how we feel overall about the trip, and then finally some of the key takeaways and lessons from the trip. But if you're only interested in answers to like certain questions, then just like use the scroller. Everything's labelled below. I won't be offended if you just want to skip to that. Firstly, what have you been up to? Because I've been wanting to make this video for ages, but I just haven't had the chance really. We have been job searching, living at Kate's parents' house at the moment. Still got zilch money, but we've both landed jobs. I'm working in the Premier Inn, and Kate has found a job in a little cafe, which is great. So we've got those to keep us going a little bit, but we're searching for like jobs more specific to our skill set. We've both found jobs that we really like the look of and would really want. So we're applying for those currently. Other than that, I've just been reading a lot. I got really interested in learning about philosophy in like the last month and a bit that we were away. So I've started reading up on some of the philosophies that I found interesting. And we're just trying to put in some plans, you know, where we want to be living when we get new jobs. We're thinking of moving to somewhere new. We're not really sure where yet. We've got ideas, but we're thinking of just doing something crazy, just moving somewhere we've never been before. I think the fact that we went on this trip has helped with realising that you actually can just do stuff like that. As I say though, we have got absolutely nothing at the moment, so that will take some time. But yeah, it's exciting times. I've also been getting more involved in politics since being back. Felt a little bit disillusioned over the last few years with the state of politics in the UK. I think having the break away from the UK and away from all of that, along with, you know, the new sort of surge of the Green Party, which I think was happening, I guess, since November while we were away. Feeling that sense of hope again, like that there's actually things can start moving again, is really nice. And so I joined the Green Party a few weeks back, and I was up in Gorton and Denton canvassing for who is now Hannah Spencer MP. So that was amazing, and to have that win a few days ago is just incredible. Super hopeful, really exciting. Things are really happening. So some of my future content might be targeted towards that a little bit. So the final few weeks of our trip were spent in Lanta and Samui. For context, if you don't already know, we flew in September into Phuket Island with the intention to do the beaches and the islands, but it was rainy season, which we knew it was going to be, but it was cheaper. But yeah, it was rainy season, and so there was no possibility of going to the beach without it just being miserable, really. So towards our time in Vietnam, we thought, where are we going to go next? And we thought, wow, it's the summer, let's go back to the islands like we always said we would go back there. So we went to Koh Lanta and Koh Samui. My personal assessment of these places, they weren't my favourite. We liked Koh Lanta actually. It was nice and small. It was a small island. It felt quite accessible. The beaches were beautiful, and there were some really nice like secluded beaches that there weren't many people at, which was really nice. Koh Samui, yeah, similar. There were some really beautiful beaches, beautiful sunsets, but with both of these places, they are so expensive, and I mean they're Western prices, which we were expecting them to be more expensive, but not as expensive as they were. If you've watched any of the other videos from the playlist, you'll know that we are not very good at planning ahead and researching. We tended just to turn up and learn about the place there. That's something that we would have benefited from learning about. We did do a pink dolphin tour, which was sick. We saw pink dolphins. That was really amazing. And we did meet up with my parents, which was also really cool because they happened to be there at the same time, which is the main reason why we went to the island, really. But I think after traveling for so long to so many different places, like cities, like rural areas, farms, I don't know, I guess places like that, like the islands, felt a little bit like artificial. I don't even know if that's the right word. I guess it was kind of like that classic, like touristy spot that you think of that kind of feels like inauthentic a little bit. And I say that with air quotes because what even is authenticity when it comes to a place like that? Like, what's the line between like like how many tourists do you have to have that it then becomes inauthentic? Why is Koh Samui any less Thailand than like Pattaya? Especially when I'm one of the tourists that is taking part in that. Anyway, that is a philosophical question for another day. That's not the point of this video. What is the point? I've lost, I don't know now. I guess finishing with that taught us a lot about what and I gave us time to reflect on, what we really valued from the trip, previously in the few months before, those few weeks. Yeah, what we value from traveling and what we valued from this trip in particular, and how we would travel next time, I guess. I want to talk also a little bit about the style of our trip and our travel, because I think it's important to consider when going on a trip, because it'll depend on what you plan, how much you plan. So for us, we went in September with no return ticket. We didn't know if we would be out for a few months, a year, more than that. We had absolutely no idea. At one point our plan was to work in Australia. We decided not to do that. Then we planned some other stuff, and then eventually we sort of ran out of money. And then that's why we came home. So we had literally no idea what we would do and how much we would plan. But it wasn't just the end point that we didn't have a plan for, it was everything in between. And if you watch the videos, you will know that we sort of don't really have a clue what we're doing. Everything was just kind of decided on the fly. We had things blocked out, so we knew roughly what month we'd be in what country. We knew what the different entry requirements were for different countries, because we knew we might go there, so we had those things written down and ready to use. But when we went and what we did and where we went in those countries was decided on the day, sometimes on the week, if we were really planning ahead. So would I recommend that style of travel? Yes. For our first trip, I'm so glad that that's how we did it, because we really got the classic backpacker experience of going bam bam over here, seeing these sites, seeing that, seeing this, seeing that. That was really good, I think, and I think it was really good to experience that. We had the privilege of not having commitments to get back to. Not everyone can do that. But we were really lucky to be able to do that, and I'm really glad that we did it. It meant we could be really free. It meant we could get somewhere and just stay there if we really enjoyed it, which we did in a few places. Now, would we travel like that again is a different question, and the answer is probably not. The things we picked up on the way that we really enjoyed about traveling doesn't really fit that style of travelling, I don't think. We've come away thinking that in the future we would have a short time span planned out, and we would have like 3 places that we want to go to and spend extensive time there. The things we really loved about the trip was when we found places that we could stay for a long time, where we connected with people and had really fun time chilling and wandering around and getting to know the place and getting to know the people in that area. That was particularly the case in Sapa, Bangkok. Even though we didn't really love Bangkok that much as a city, we really enjoyed our time there because we really got to know the place and the people in our local area. The local area that we were staying in. Hanoi, we really loved as well. Payaw on the workaway that we stayed at. So the style of kind of having it open-ended and not really know what you're doing doesn't really work with that, possibly. I don't know. But anyway, I think we would try a different style of trip next time is what I'm saying. And yeah, it's just quite stressful not knowing what to do. It's freeing, and it's really freeing knowing that we've done that, and you can actually just do like random things sometimes. You know, we've taken that away with us to implement into our normal life, which is why I would really recommend doing it for a first trip. And then you can get to know whether you like that, or for us, it didn't really work for us. So to be able to learn those lessons is amazing. And yeah, so I wouldn't have changed the trip because it happened how it happened, and we have learned all our lessons and had some amazing experiences. The other thing is, what we've learned is that we don't really find going to like landmarks or like the places to go to in the area. You know, when you go to an area and it's like, oh, you've got to go here, and it doesn't really do anything for us. One specific example, there are a few examples of this, but specifically off the top of my head, when we went to Khao Bang, we went to the Ban Giok waterfall, which I absolutely embarrassed myself with the pronunciation of that in my Vietnam vlog. But we went to Ban Giok waterfall, and it was amazing. Objectively, it's such a cool waterfall, huge, amazing. But like, I don't know, we'd heard so much about it and how amazing it was, and we were kind of stood there like, yeah, okay, cool, it's cool. It didn't do anything for us emotionally, and we were really on the same page about that. But as I say, the moments that we did connect with emotionally were when we met cool people. And yeah, and so that evening in Khao Bang, or maybe the evening before, we were sat in the homestay with locals and chatting with them about all sorts of trivial stuff, and it was really, really fun, and that's something that we've really remembered. And there's been loads of examples of this throughout the whole trip. So for us, yeah, landmarks and sites we don't really care about them, to be honest. But again, I'm so glad that we did the trip the other way that we did, because we were able to do all of those landmarks, go here and here and here and here, and see all the things that are really important to see in those places. And we've done that, and we know that it's not particularly fulfilling for us on a trip. So again, it's really cool to know that, because I guess it stops any like disappointment. We've really figured that out towards the end of the trip, really, and so next time we would really be prepared for that. So those are some of our key takeaways, I guess. The style of travel, the time that we spent there. We're going to get more into specifics right now. But first, guys, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who subscribed and watched the videos over the last few months. I started this channel with the intention of practicing vlogging so that I could be good enough to vlog the trip, and Now I've done that, I've accomplished that goal that I had, which is so sick. And I think I gained like 40 something subscribers, which is crazy because I don't even know like 40 people, so I don't know who the hell you are. But thank you. It's been really, really fun. And just because the trip is over doesn't mean I'm going to stop vlogging, because I really love it, and it's able to keep me being creative all the time, and it's just a really great diary. But if you're new here and this is the first video that you're watching, then subscribe, because I've got some fun ideas in the pipeline. I'm going to do some trips around the UK and got a long-term project coming up that I will probably talk about in the next few videos. No spoilies. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what I can pitch to you really at the moment, because it's all a bit up in the air about what this channel's going to be. But I think I'm going to do some fun stuff. I don't know. I've got some ideas. And if there's any ideas that you've got, I'm up for anything really. So just comment them and I'll do them. Unless it's like something gross. Anyway, over to me and Kate, talking about our favourite moments, least favourite moments, and the best meal we ever had on the trip. Okay, so I'm with Kate.
Hi!
Most of you will know her from the previous videos, or from just knowing her because you're my mum.
You probably know me in real
or
life.
you're
if you're
Kate's mum.
this.
All right. So we are going to go through some of our favourite things, like trivial things from the trip.
Are they trivial?
I don't know, what would you call it? That, you know.
I think they're quite important.
How's it been being back for you?
It's like we never went. I don't know if it was because we left very suddenly, or I don't know. When we walked through my front door after we got back, it was literally like we'd had a long weekend away in the Yorkshire Dales.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So people keep asking us how have you been adjusting to normal life, and it probably took us about
10 or 12 minutes.
Yeah.
To
we had some Marmite on toast and went to bed, and then everything was back to normal.
So, favourite location?
3, 2, 1.
Sapa. And Hanoi also.
Yeah.
Vietnam overall was our favourite country, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Such a big variety to do there. Such different climates.
We'd definitely go back to Vietnam, and definitely on a bigger budget, because I really want to do all the cool like outdoor stuff, especially in the north. I would want to do way more hiking. We
spent ages in Hanoi, we really got to know it, and Sapa, we were there, we booked for like 4 days, but we ended up staying a few extra nights because it was just so sick, and it was the first time we'd felt cold for like 4 months, wasn't it? So
another thing it's made me realise, next time I would probably want to do majority homestays, which I know a lot of people say, but I think we were kind of scared to do homestays, thinking that we'd have to like hang out with them all the time. But that's kind of the good part about homestays, is you have someone to hang out with all the time.
We were thinking that, and then every time we were at homestays, we'd be hanging out with them all the time, and we go, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And Hanoi was just so cool and vibrant, and if it wasn't for the horrendous pollution, I could stay there for ages. It was so busy and like, but it was so homely at the same time. It was like a funny mix of those things, and it was really walkable. I love walkable cities. It was just so fun. Everything was just so colourful, and everyone was so nice. Okay, favourite moment. So this is a very easy one for me. We stayed on a workaway in October, and it was at a permaculture farm, and we had no idea what to expect. We'd never done a workaway before, and when we were going there, we were so nervous about whether we were gonna whether there were going to be other people there, or whether we were going to be the only ones there with the owner. Like, we had absolutely no idea. As soon as we got to know everyone there, it was just the best week ever. And there was one particular day where we had a painting class. A friend of the owner was a painter and ran like painting workshops, and so we went there and we just spent all day at this family's house in like rural Thailand, near Phayao it was, and we just painted, and then they shared their like 30-year-old plum rice wine with us and just got us absolutely wasted, and then fed us like the most incredible food, and it was just amazing. And then their friends started coming over that evening at dinner, and we were playing instruments together. The big takeaway for me was that there was no question that they wanted to share all those things with us. It was like, yeah, of course we're gonna share this 30-year-old whiskey with you. That's what we do. And I painted a really good painting as well. I had no idea I could paint.
Mine was, I mean, that was a great day, but I knew you were going to pick that, so I didn't pick that. When the host played the traditional long instrument for us, yeah, in that moment I was like, wow, this is so special, and you wouldn't get this anywhere else. Yeah, also at the farm, the nights when we were drinking around the fire. It was really,
so
really
good,
fun.
yeah.
And trying to find songs that people from like all over the world would all know. And weirdly, pretty much the only one that everyone knew was "Take Me Home, Country Road."
Oh yeah, that got played so much.
And that is where I discovered my love for soju, because everyone was drinking soju. Because we would go to the 7-Eleven, it's like, you're not going to bring a bunch of beers back because you don't know how long that's going to last you. So we'd all drink soju and just pass it around.
I would really recommend doing a workaway. What was it?
Specifically at this, if you're going to Thailand and you're vegan, you should go to this farm.
And if you're not, you should also go Havandi
farm.
Havandi.
We'll put the link
farm
to the workaway in the description.
Yeah. Least favourite moment?
It's hard to say, but I did get a cold. I got a cold when we were in Bangkok, and we were in a hostel, and I just had to lie in bed and I couldn't even sniffle because there was other people.
Yeah, I think, there was a bit between... It was after Christmas, wasn't it? And we came back. Yes, that was it. And we were there for New Year.
Yeah.
And New Year was really nice, but I didn't love Ho Chi Minh so much. I think after being in Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh is just so much bigger and not very walkable, and it was so much hotter as well.
Yeah.
Which makes it hard. Whereas Hanoi's a much nicer temperature for us, I think. But we were staying in a room with no windows, and we were both really ill, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were both like bunged up, and I'd had conjunctivitis, and like, so I was still kind of coming down from that. Scariest moment.
We've both got the same scariest moments.
Yeah, the storm in Khao Yai.
I mean, that has to be objectively our most scary moment, because it was literally the closest we've ever been to death.
Yeah.
If lightning strikes less than a metre away from you.
If you're not sure what we're talking about, look at this video in this corner. It all happens there, and it was just absolutely terrifying. We were in a storm in Khao Yai, just set up our tent, and the storm started coming in, looming over, and then the rain came, and then lightning, and it just kept getting closer and closer to our tent before it was shaking it.
Literally, like, the loudest sound I've ever heard, and the ground physically shaking.
Okay, favourite food dish. There's a place in Chiang Mai. God, we've not really talked about Chiang Mai much. We love Chiang Mai, actually. There was a place in Chiang Mai called Begin Vegan, just on the edge of the square of the old town, and they did a khao soi, and that was the first time I'd had khao soi, but I had it a few times afterwards, and none of them matched up to how good that was. And I went back like 4 times for that. It was so good. Favourite khao soi, Begin Vegan in Chiang Mai.
Okay, well, I thought you were going to say Lazy Bug, so
Yeah,
I'll say
I've also got that. That's my other one.
That was in Khao Bang?
Yeah.
That was just the best food I've ever had in my whole life.
Lazy Bug, Khao Bang City. Okay, favourite accommodation.
Mine was the Sapper accommodation. I feel like we're just talking about the same, like, 3 places.
Yeah, because they were the best ones.
But it was amazing, and he built it with his bare hands, and it was just so cool. The bed was the comfiest bed I've ever laid in, and it was just beautiful. It had a great view, and I loved the way it was laid out. Like, you had all your privacy, but then it was also like you were part of the family. It was just great.
Yeah, that was up there. Also, if you're in Bangkok, I mean, got to shout out Sukhumvit Hostel.
Yeah.
Right? We love that. Really, yeah, perfect location, lovely staff. I didn't manage to pick up my deposit because I forgot to tell them that I was going early before, like, they come. 3 months after we were there, they text me saying, by the way, we've still got your deposit if you're coming back to Bangkok, so come and collect it.
It's so sweet.
But for me, also Nix's bungalow in Mang Noi. That's the best view, I think. That's got to be the best view from an accommodation. So that was amazing. But in Sapa, where we stayed, was the Hmong Eco House. So we would really recommend staying there because
really,
that was
really.
absolutely lovely. And Tu and Chu were just amazing hosts. Oh, I forgot to put one for this. Best landmark.
Yeah, I couldn't really think of one because I'm not one for landmarks.
No, and I mentioned that yesterday.
I liked the reclining Buddha.
Wow, yeah.
He was so big.
That was amazing, yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
He's big. And I was going to say best view. Or best landscape for me was definitely Kaobang.
Yeah.
Those massive hills, like the massive mountains, was crazy. And just the farmland, it was like nothing I've ever seen before. It was insane.
Okay. What were your favourite bits of gear that you took?
Well, I know we're both going to say our...
We got to we got to do a very special shout out to our Life Straw bottles. We both got one. Where's yours? Yours is there. Yeah, they're just amazing. You can get water
so
anywhere.
Yeah.
You can drink the tap water.
Tap, my cup.
Your cup, yeah, you bought that, didn't you, in Chiang Mai in Decathlon?
Yes. If you're someone who likes having tea, there's going to be kettles like most places, but then there's not going to be any cups. So I just got a cup. It's a metal like mug, and it just made me feel a lot less panicked because I had tea bags with me, and then we pick up oat milk, so I could always have a nice cup of tea.
For me, this torch, the Woburn G5, right? Torch, right? It's a torch. Look at that. It's really bright, but then you can dim it. Oops, you can dim it. So it's really good for like, be it if you're in a hostel and you need like a small light. But then we did a night walk in Katien National Park, and I had this. I could see everything. Then you got this, right? There's never any lamps. There's never any lamps in hostels or hotels. So to put it on the yellow light, boom, got that on the side. Little lamp, amazing. And then it's totally waterproof, IP65.
Tell them what happened to it.
And so the reason why this is really truly on my mind is that I accidentally put it in the washing machine in a pocket, and it's absolutely fine.
That's crazy.
Works perfectly. I've charged it up. That's amazing. And then you've got a clip. You can clip it here. You could clip it onto your cap. You could clip it onto your shirt. Right. Turn it. Boom.
Wow.
I'm a massive fan of this. This was brilliant.
Well, I would also say my neck pillow.
I had a hero clip as well, which was great to hook your bag onto the front. I've got pictures of that somewhere. Onto like the chair in front of you on a bus. Air tags. I loved having an airbag in both my...
Air tag.
What did I say? I loved having the air tag in both my little bag and my backpack, because then when the backpack went into the bottom in the bus, when it would stop, you could check, my bag's still on the bus, it's not, no one's took it by accident, and then you can go back to sleep, and that was really good.
Also, yeah, I would not bring any tight clothing. Everybody said bring like sports tops and, is it lycra? What's the material?
Nylon?
Nylon. No, don't do that.
Now, I would say, really make sure you bring nylon clothes. I'm a big supporter of nylon clothing when travelling.
Yeah, but
you loved your cotton.
You had loose nylon.
Yeah.
I had tight nylon.
Yeah. So it depends who you are. But no.
But also, yeah, I just much prefer cotton.
But actually, what I would definitely do is I wore my clothes for like at least a few weeks before going. Whereas I think I don't know if you really did that.
No, but I would also say bring one pair of clothes and just get everything when you're there, because everything, like...
You went with a whole different wardrobe to what you came back with.
I had to get rid of everything and get new stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the clothes there are made for the climate, so why would you buy them here? They're also way cheaper over there, like, just...
And you contribute to the economy?
I wouldn't.
And to local shops?
I would bring, like, a t-shirt and some hiking trousers, and then get everything over there.
Yeah. I think that about covers those aspects. Anything else you want to find out, you can find in other YouTube videos like we did. Any final remarks?
In conclusion, I had a great time. Thanks for coming travelling with me.
No. Hey,
no
problem.
And you know what? We had a goal. We wanted to go travelling, and we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, okay, sum up your trip in 3 words.
Normal. People. Content.
Normal, people, content.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't do anything crazy. We just kind of lived our normal lives there.
Mm-hmm.
And also the main thing that was my favourite thing was meeting people.
Mm-hmm.
And also, maybe not content, maybe I would say more like chilling.
Chilling. Normal people and chilling. Well, thanks very much. Going to go over to George now for the final part of the video. on there. Yeah. Thank you, George. Yes, I'm out here a few days later, and I've picked the windiest day I could do this. Traveling is a lot like normal life. All right, you're living, you know, you're alive, you're breathing. You know, I do all these things back home too. So the final segment of the video is going to be about some of the biggest lessons that I've taken away from the trip. They apply to travel, but they also seem to apply to just normal everyday life as well. So I've taken these lessons with me, and I'm gonna, you know, I'm trying to apply them also to just life, normal life now. But equally, when I go on another trip, then I will use these lessons then as well. The first one is to just slow down. Whenever we traveled slow, we were able to embed ourselves in the community and the, you know, or the family that we were living with, or the, you know, just the place we were, the area we were staying in. And yeah, those are the moments that are a lot more enriching. Is that a word? Fulfilling to us. So yeah, and also you can travel a lot cheaper when you're a lot slower. And in terms of everyday life, I'm just trying to take things slower, take them as they come, really. I'm not very good at that. It's definitely something that takes practice. It's a skill. But I've realised over the trip how important like taking things slow is, to just like to give your mind a minute. Come on, in you go. Yeah, I realise now how little I used to, like how little space I used to have in my mind. But before leaving the trip, I'm used to do so much. Yeah, I don't know, yeah, slowing down and doing less, and just sort of giving yourself time to just exist is so useful and so good for the mind. We were so busy, but I came back off the trip with such a clear head, and I want to really try and implement that in my life, because there's no point wearing yourself down. Just chill, just take it slow. Yeah, another really important lesson I learned is to accept change. Things change all the time, plans change, things go wrong, and the sooner that you accept that when traveling, the less you're going to be surprised, and the less you'll be upset when things inevitably change. Yeah, now I've come back to a very different life to what I had before traveling. I was totally freelance, filmmaker, musician, playing in multiple bands, playing gigs all the time. I come back now, and I quit the bands before I left. Now I'm working in a hotel, applying for other jobs, as I said in the previous section. I'm not playing in any bands, and it's a really weird change, but I gave up a lot to go on the trip. And I guess that was the sacrifice. And now our life is going in a direction that we hadn't planned, in terms of, you know, what jobs we want and where we want to live and what we want to do. But it's one we're really excited about, and it would have happened without the trip potentially, because we've been dropped back here with like no money, and I don't know, it's just made us really reassess, and it's exciting. So, you know, things change, and you got to accept that change and go with it. It's a lot easier to be content, I think, when you just accept that things are going to change. Yeah, that's that. Trust your instincts. Whoops, I messed that. Trust your instincts. If you feel something's not right, or you feel something is right, in your gut, you've got to go with your gut. I'm a big believer in go with your gut. I think you're less likely to regret decisions. It means that you're in full control of your decisions as well, which is much better than doing something because someone else, you know, may kind of push you to deciding something. And we had to use our instincts on the trip a lot, and yeah, I'm making sure that I apply that to my everyday life as well. Why is it so windy? I decided to be under the trees. Another really important lesson that I've learned is not, I mean, it's obvious and everyone talks about it, but it became more true than ever for me on this trip, is not to compare yourself to people on social media, right? Classic, I know, it's a cliche, but it's so true. On the trip, obviously the algorithm was giving us loads of just basically like 90% backpacking content. And when you see people doing cool stuff that sometimes looks cooler than what you're doing, but you're in like a similar place, it's so easy to feel like you're doing something wrong. But you have to remember that a 30-second video online does not tell the whole story, all right? A 30-minute video, a 60-minute video like mine does not tell the full story, right? There is stuff that I leave out. There are things that are really boring or times where we've been upset I've left out because it would have made a rubbish video, right? So I'm guilty of this too. And I guess making the videos really helped because I was like, oh yeah, I'm cutting loads of stuff out that I don't want people to see. And you know, it happens in all parts of life. For me, especially in the creative sector, musicians, everyone is comparing themselves to others. It's so easy to see people doing better than you, seemingly, and feeling bad about yourself because of that. Traveling, it was like sometimes seeing videos, like, why aren't I doing that? But it was 30 seconds out of like 24 hours. There's no way that how it was portrayed is really how it was. The key thing to remember, I think, is that most people are having a shit time most of the time. Yeah, just don't believe it. Just have your own experience, and that is what it is, and that's great. Okay, and finally, just go. I mean, you don't have to, but if you've been wanting to travel, you've been, planning a trip in your head, and you have the ability to save for it, then just go. Stop putting it off. Just go. Everything's going to be the same when you get back. You'll learn so much. You'll go to new places. You'll meet new people. You'll do things that you never thought you would do in your life. You might even hate it, but at least you tried. You might love it, and then boom, you found a new hobby. Before we left as well, those people were like, oh yeah, you got to do it while you can. Mate, just do it whenever I want. Yeah, and it takes work, like you have to work and save to do it, but I don't know. If you want to do it, you can just do it. That was honestly one of the biggest takeaways when we got there. It was such a massive build-up, like 3 years of building up to the trip. And we got there and we were like, oh, you can just get on a plane and go. Not that hard, apart from like the 2 years of saving, but we know what we're doing now, and just go. You won't regret it, I don't think. Okay, guys, finally, I'm bringing this series to a close once and for all. I'm going to start doing new videos. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I think I'm just going to be doing random stuff, I think, and just seeing what kind of content I like making and what people like. But yeah, as I say, let me know if there's anything you want to see. Thank you so much for watching this series. I had no idea what I was doing. We were totally new to traveling, so I hope it's been entertaining to all the people that have joined on this journey with me. Stick around, let your grandma know. It's Mother's Day soon, so send a link to your mum and she'll love the videos as well, I'm sure. I don't know, I'm just rambling now, and I'm absolutely freezing. And do you like my new hoodie, my new jumper? It's good, right? Wolves. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I need to say. Really appreciate it. I hope you've had a great time watching the videos. Said that already. See you later. Goodbye. I won't talk about this trip again. Sick of it. Oh, hopefully I can upload this tonight. Bye.